First off, rest in peace, neighborhood nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics. Move
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, Faith over here.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
What's going on, good people out there?
Watch this.
It's your 3 favorite guys. You already know who it is. What are we doing? What's episode? 160.
160. Running through them things.
You know y'all can catch us on all major podcast platforms. 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _ You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. Also on TikTok and Twitch. And I had a few people asking us what's up with the actual audio on the podcast. We are focusing more on the YouTube. So, we need y'all to like, share, subscribe on the YouTube. If y'all do, y'all just need that podcast style, holla us on Rumble. We all on Rumble. It's a free app. Go ahead and do what you got to do on there. If you only got Rumble for us, that's all we care about.
Fuck everybody else. Fuck everything else.
It is what it is. We still know. If y'all show up here, shouts out to the fourth man is in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, subscribe button. Also, I got my What's the Goodie shirt on. Shouts out to Michelle, Intentional Productions, Intentional
the best dancing on YouTube.
Y'all know what it is, but as y'all know, I am Hill, and Hill gonna heal regardless, baby. But who I got with me?
You know what it is, man. First of all, it's your favorite pod.
Talk to him.
And you got your boy Buchanan official, man. Commanders fan official. I see my guy Rose in the comments. What's up, LB?
What up?
And you already know what it is. You got your boy. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna say this episode, but watch this.
I've never watched one of those.
You've never watched a Tiny Desk?
I never really had an interest.
Well, because I can see that, because Tiny Desk, that's for the longest. Tiny Desk it's kind of like my speed, because it's a lot of R&B on there too. Like,
but it be rappers on there.
But that's what I'm about to say. Like, they're starting to like really expand. They've expanded. Wale definitely had a good Tiny Desk, and you know who also had a really good Tiny Desk?
Gucci and Zaytoven did too. It was 5 years ago.
T-Pain had an amazing Tiny Desk.
He killed it.
So like,
I've always liked it, man.
Yeah. So Tiny Desk is definitely my thing. I've always loved Tiny Desk. I'd be in the crib just listening to Tiny Desk. But I think if you kind of like that live performance and really kind of like see that just like the real feel of music, or not even just like a live performance. If you are just like a fan of music in general, you will like Tiny Desk, because it's organic. Yeah. Like those be like my kind of shows that like if I go to a concert, I ain't really trying to be in an arena.
Yeah,
I want like a good venue where it's like everybody you can kind of be close to the stage. You ain't got to worry about the sound traveling throughout the arena. And when you have those, it's usually those really be like diehard fans in a sense, where it's just like you be in a crowd, it's a good vibe because everybody know the words and everybody close together and stuff like that. Like when I never forget, like when me and Hill went to the Locks concert, like that shit was like, what was that, at the Fillmore?
Yeah,
like
the Fillmore be lit.
Like that's to me, that's the perfect crowd for a show, because it's a great amount of people. You still got like your VIPs and stuff like that, but when you just kind of sitting there in that GA area and you are able to just kind of vibe with everybody, and literally when Styles P hopped in the crowd, it's like he right there, he rapping with us, like we can see him. It's just like it's a good intimate show. Like Sean, I got Sean off from Off the Dome. He says he likes sitting comfortable at a concert. I don't know, what kind of concerts you frequent, but maybe you should, if they got mosh pits and stuff like that. I don't like. I stay away from Kid Cudi concerts, even though it's one in Dallas that I want to go to in August. But it get a little crazy in the crowd, so I understand that. But
facts
to me, I don't like. Even like if I'm at like an R&B concert, I want to be able to stand up and vibe. I don't like sitting.
Now, what I will say is he has a point. I like both. I like both. One, I saw Crit at the Fillmore, and I truly enjoyed that. But I had a suite at the Capitol. What is it? Capital One Center now?
Yeah.
Or
okay.
For whole Magna Carta tour, and I also had a suite there for the Lil Wayne T.I.
Lil Wayne joint,
and had a blast both times in the arena and the suite, man. Just standing up, and just as much fun as I had at the Fillmore. So to me, if you go see great performers, I feel like you'll have fun no matter what.
Right. So I had a suite for the Legend of Streets tour, which was Gucci, Jeezy, Ja Rule, 2 Chainz, and Trina. When I'm talking about a seat, I ain't talking about a suite. Suite life is different because I could just walk up, get my beer. I got a plate of food, all of that. But I'm just talking about just like sitting in the seat, like
I don't like just sitting in the seat.
Because even like when if we're in an arena and I just got like a seat, I feel like I'm gonna be standing the whole time anyway. And then it's just like some people behind you sitting, and then it's just like, damn, I feel kind of like, when you at that standing room, it's like, all right, we all like, hey, get it how you live. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I mean. Like sweet life. I'm always taking sweet life. God damn it.
Do you feel this way because you tall?
Bro, I ain't that tall. You know what I mean?
But you tall though.
I'm tall. Yeah, I'm tall. So I mean,
cause I understand comfortable seating, because I was at that same T.I. and Lil Wayne concert and it was seat. I wasn't in the suite.
He wasn't in the suite.
But most of the time, like you're up, everybody's standing up when people performing anyway. And then when they're not performing, what we doing? Sit down and get the rest.
And it go back to my point. But like I said, Lil Wayne, he killed that performance, and T.I. did. So I feel like no matter where you was at, you could have been in the last row. I felt like you would have had a great time. It was just that. Of course. It was a good show.
Good performance. You can't bypass that. And that's really another thing. If you're not a live performer, it's gonna show. And as we've been talking about, like with the Versus stuff, it will hinder the quality of the experience as well.
I went back and watched some of the Versus clips, bro. Man, it's hilarious, man.
We had they had one of the four put a Versus convo? Yeah, Versus conversation from the Joe Budden podcast in the group.
The J. Cole, my fault.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
My fault.
I said Wale will mop the floor with J. Cole in the Versus. Now he made it seem like that was a hot take. Well, which it was a hot take. It is a hot take.
You know why I don't think so? As much as I probably listen to more Wale than Cole, but I know that Cole is a better rapper. But Cole's live album is elite, bro. So I just feel like Cole, he's one of those intimate performers, man. It's kind of like Hove. Like he really knows his crowd and his fan base, and he gonna give them everything that they want. Wale sometimes, bro, be having issues with his performances, bro.
Yeah.
He would start complaining, my mic ain't working, or get mad or start crying in the middle of it. And it's like, that's gonna lose you a Versus, bro. So it's like, I think if it was the old Versus, if it was a competitive aspect of it, I think Wale would win, because I think he does have the more notable hits for this type of environment. Like he said, he got bangers. He got, like I said, his bangers.
Because with Cole, I mean, with Wale,
I'm more of a Wale fan.
Like to me, when like the old stuff, like the Verses, like just like if you go like song for kind of like song,
if it's song for song,
the way some of Wale's songs come on, it's like immediate.
Yeah,
like,
he got some hits.
As soon as No Hands come on, you like, oh shit.
Yeah.
As soon as like you hear Miguel start saying Lotus Flower Bomb, it's like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Or Jeremiah and Creaking.
Yeah. So it's just like, you know, some of that, like, I don't think well,
but if he don't perform it good, that's we've seen it.
But that's what I'm saying. In this aspect, I mean to cut you off.
Exactly. And so what we have seen is, you know, the performance matters. You know, like the old school, you know, really during the pandemic, you could just, you know, play the songs because they doing it like this damn near sometimes, and then they, you know, kind of went into the same place, but it still didn't evolve to like a real big crowd and performing in front of people. So I think what I took from it, I didn't think it was an extreme hot take what I said, because I actually listened to it. I don't think it was a really, like, you know, once you actually listen to what he says, I don't think it's a hot take. I think he did maybe go far when he said he would mop the floor with him, because
of course.
But you know, because sometimes you gotta do that salacious shit. But I think it'll be a lot closer than what people think. And we've seen it in these verses. People have come out and say, oh, why are they doing this? This is gonna be a bloodbath. And we've seen it play out the complete opposite way.
Can think that would be a bloodbath.
And on top,
and look, I'm
it's just because J. Cole's he's the bigger name. That's why.
You said what?
It's because J. Cole's the bigger name. That's why.
But it's a reason he's the bigger name. Like it's because in the crunch time he does what he's supposed to do. Like I'm trying to tell you, like, bro, like just being in the DMV area, there has been big incidents with Wale at some of the local venues, bro.
Yeah,
with just like I'm trying to tell you, like crying mid-show, bro. Like
he definitely we've seen that from Twitter. He emotional, so that ain't nothing new.
And so it's like the type of stuff that he be on, just saying, like, if the mic ain't working good or something like that, that could set him back. And I feel like Cole could push through. I feel like Cole could push through better in a live situation.
Cole performed in a torrential downpour at, I think it was like Rolling Loud or something like that.
That's what I'm trying to say, man.
And I think we're underrating the aspect that they really are friends. So this it would be so boring. It'd be a big ass love fest.
I need some shit. I need some shit talking.
Yeah.
We need something. You like we know it's evolved to a celebration of music and all that. I get
not when you have certain people. Like that's why that Mario Omarion was fun, and that's why Gucci Jeezy was like.
But they were selling it too because they going on tour now. So
but that's all I'm saying. Like at least
sell it like that.
Yeah, like just sell it.
And they ain't gonna sell it like that. Like it's gonna be mad love, you know. I love you, my brother. Oh, that song right there. You know, I seen
Mark, what you do? Mark, what you do?
I seen I got a request from him. I'm like, I thought it was spam.
God damn, Mark.
Oh my God. You didn't know it's talking crazy. Free to foe.
Free the guys.
But this is my thing.
We them boys, bitch.
But Mark, why are you always in Facebook jail? Like, what is it, bro?
You be talking shit.
I mean, like at first it's like, all right, I feel you. Like, yeah, man, I'm gonna ride for you, but it's like, bro, you're a repeat offender, man.
Hey, there you go. Look, right on time. He said, I'm a repeat offender. As long as you know, Mark. I didn't go front since we on the music question. I think
yes, sir.
It's a good time to get to our first topic. What's the best 3-album run in hip hop history?
Oh, you rubbing your hands together?
Yeah, man. So I really, it came down to two people for me, man, and I hope I don't step on any one of y'all toes up. So it's like,
I think
I'm all right. I got plenty.
So the first person I said is DMX.
Of course.
Dark as Hell is Hot, Flesh of My Flesh, and then there was X. That's probably one of the greatest runs in history. 3-album runs. One, because the first 2 albums were both in 1998.
Yeah,
it was like, and they both went platinum, and I think one of them was number 1. And then my second one is Lil Wayne with the Carter 1, 2, and 3. So it's like you can't go wrong right there. So Those is my two. There's a lot more, but I just think those are two of the greatest ones because a lot of people in my top 5, I couldn't put 3 consecutive albums together.
Yeah.
So for me, I've been like, there's some like that I don't want to be biased about because right here,
I'm about to be biased.
This like I knew I didn't want to bring this one to the table because specifically I knew me and Hill would both have this one, but
so I knew you was gonna let me have that one.
Yeah, so like I stepped away from that one, and I'm gonna go with someone that I've actually been extremely critical of, and Kanye.
Okay,
I think the college dropout, late registration, and then graduation, going from like kind of like that entire concept in itself.
Yeah, that was fire.
You know, from you know our introduction to him and the evolution of that. I think to me, that is that is a great run, and
that is a great run.
You know, I have some honorable mentions as well, but like I want to allow us to get into it a little bit more. But
go ahead, just say one.
I think Outkast, we got to really put them in there too. You know, with Southern Playlist,
like
kind of like music.
Two
what?
That like they had 2 classics, and then it's like
nah, because to me, Southern Playalistic, Cadillac Music, classic, right?
I mean, AT Aliens,
and then Aquemini right after that. Aquemini might be.
Yeah, but then it's like Stank on Your album is like it's like how many years was it in between there? Like, can that really be?
We only talking about 3.
Yeah, that's kind of. I just felt like that's kind of cheating. The rest of them did like albums, like 3 consecutive albums in like a short span of time. You feel me?
Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music was I think 94. AT Aliens I think came out either 95 or 96.
It had to be 96.
And then Aquemini was like 2 years after that. So that to me that count. You know, I think because we even see it like when you like, especially like when like it was back in music came out every Tuesday. So when you went and bought albums, people sat with those albums. So come like delivering every like 2 years, that was that's good. Especially when you doing what they were doing, because a lot of that stuff within that 2-year period, it's like it like they were able to roll stuff off of that continually. So it wasn't like you would hear them for a year and then they went silent. They were still able to kind of parlay all of that and roll it into the next album. Hill?
I was with you. Oh, I got I'm going to roll with my guy T.I. I'm definitely going biased, but I feel that his run was definitely. I think it became underrated. I think
100%.
I think we got accustomed to what he was doing at the time, and then when he went on the little downslope for some people, just underestimated the work that he put in, the grind that he put in, and that 3-run album. And I'm really not don't have to stop at 3. Like
exactly,
he really kept going.
You really don't. He really did, man.
Yeah, I really kept going. Like you said, trap music, urban legend, King, T.I. versus T.I.P. Paper Trail.
Paper Trail is people slept on Paper Trail, man. That's a classic.
And like as a T.I. fan, it's like even if you start at I'm Serious.
Yeah,
facts.
Like from the like to me, like from the jump, it's like you could really throw that, but it's just the way that trap like that 3 album run of trap music.
He was in
Urban Legend, and then to cap it off with King, like that's like.
And then, but it's like Paper Trail. He really got a quadruple. He really got 5 in a row, man.
It was, and that's hard to do. Like, that's hard to do.
He really probably was the most. Now that I think about it, is probably the most consistent as far as albums.
I really do believe that Ludacris gets slept on as well. I think
go ahead, because I'm pulling it up.
I think he had a good run, but because of just how we're talking about T.I., like Ludacris was more of kind of like just a lyrical Southern rapper, but it was kind of fun too. You know what I mean?
It was fun rap.
I enjoyed it.
So it was fun rap. So I think it gets overlooked a lot.
Luda was not. He always made sure he had his street bangers on.
He was nice.
But when you think about Back for the First Time, that's a classic.
Back for the First Time gets spins today.
Today.
To me, that's up there with some of the like
too.
But you got word of mouth right after that.
Right after that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like you can't sleep on that run.
This 3-year run.
Bro.
This 3 now because Red Light District.
That's why I said it's a lot. So I really like it's a lot of people that had 3 album runs. So when I thought about it, I really tried to think about people who went on GOAT runs, like.
And when you set the tone with DMX, like
exactly
that ain't been Max since.
Oh, absolutely. Because to me, for the like the acclaim that it had, you know, like it meant something else. And like I had some like, you know, as I was doing some digging, I was just trying to go through and be like, who are some other people that we are like not sleeping on, but could really go into this, and not necessarily just like the best 3 album run, but like to me, you look at Ross 3 album run.
Yeah.
Like you go from Deeper Than Rap.
Yeah.
What was it? Teflon Don.
I even like Port of Miami.
Port of Miami, like that's what I'm saying. But like to me, like
that was
like
one.
To me, like Port of Miami, like that shit was tough. And then to follow it up with Deeper Than Rap, and then to come back the next year with Teflon Don.
Yeah, facts.
Like, that was tough. Another one, y'all want to kick it old school real quick?
Go ahead, man.
I had Ice Cube, yo.
Nah, Ice Cube he is, bro.
Yeah, like because it was like I was looking at Ice Cube and Snoop.
Man.
I'm like, those
he's not really done anything weak. And honestly,
yeah, because when he started putting out work, like his whole run was legit.
Man.
And it was
we were East Coast guys, but it was like if you go back and actually listen to it, like you can't, and you critique it, you be like, oh nah, Cube was snapping. He was
yeah.
And then technically, if you put the NWA album on this, like he got along because he basically wrote that.
I was going from NWA to West Side Connection. He won't miss it. He won't miss it. And like I said, he had an immaculate pen, and like man, crazy. And everybody know I hate Kanye, but that run was crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like that's undeniable.
And he even hit again. I know it wasn't another consecutive run, but Dark Twisted Fantasy, man, like that joint is a classic too, man.
Yeah, like he put out some amazing, amazing arts of work. Even though I hate him,
Yeah.
You ain't even have to say that, man.
It needed to be said.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's why I jumped out. I was like, I've been critical of this motherfucker, but you can't deny. This was when I was rocking with Ye, so I'm cool there. So
same for me,
I thought Ye would really had the potential to be one of the best, man. And I really think what I as much as I hate to say it, bro, Watch the Throne mess Ye up, bro.
How?
Because it was like a braggadocious album. You feel what I'm saying? It's like if you look at Otis and everything, it's like he went and he never came back from. It's like I went toe to toe with Hove. It's like I'm and he already thinking about his 3 album run that he did. And he's like, y'all, do y'all really see what I'm doing? Like I'm beyond. And then it's like he never came back from that. So he's like, you feel me? he went over the ledge, man.
That's right here.
And that was some of his. He had some stupid bars on Watch the Throne, man. Stupid bars.
Missy don't have a bad album.
Oh,
she
100%.
don't.
Yeah,
she don't.
Absolutely.
Missy does not have a bad album. Like I said, and the versatility on her albums that she delivered. Like
the versatility used to bother me back in the day when I was younger, man.
That is true. Because because
I read that all wrong.
Because I like the certain type of music. I'm like, come on, just give me what I like. Missy was experimental.
Kind of like we was talking about with Drake, right? We like rapping Drake, and some people did like rapping Missy, melodic Missy, or singing Missy. But like I say, you knew what you was getting with when you was with Missy. You gonna get everything.
Yeah, you getting everything.
But and sometimes like that's really a strong thing to do, because that's how you are able to keep all of your fan base happy and keep all of your fan base engaged. And it's a hard thing to do. Unfortunately.
What's going on here? 3-man weave at the dock. What's going on?
But she talking about
like
Kanye.
He became.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Like, so that's what I said. I read that completely wrong because I saw the comment out the corner of my eye, and all I see is like,
Watch the Throne. He truly became like, because it took him next level. It's like, bro, because before it's like, one, Kanye had the complex. He did not want to be known as a producer rapper. He never wanted that label. You feel me? So it's like, now
I'm sensitive about my
shit. Like, one, I've defied y'all this whole point. Y'all never wanted to even give me a deal. All of this, I basically went and we seen it now. We seen the proof now. He made them give him a record deal. Like, you know what I mean? By just they gave it to him just to probably stop coming up here and doing this. You feel me? Okay, but it's like now I done went toe to toe with Hove. What y'all gonna say to me now?
So
then my shoes jumped over Jumpman. You feel me? It's like, that's nothing y'all can really tell me.
So now I got a question about that.
Okay, which one?
About the Kanye.
Okay, go ahead. I'll come back to that.
He was going so hard about being respected as a rapper, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, y'all gotta respect me as a rapper. I'm really a rapper. I'm not just a producer and all that. Mm-hmm. So why you got all these ghostwriters all of a sudden?
I don't know, man.
Okay, you want to know why? You want to know why? He became a true nut.
Yeah, that's
why.
That's the comment of it.
Okay, he became a true nut.
Oh man!
Title of the episode: a true nut.
But no, I was thinking that too, but that's why the music don't resonate with me no more. I felt it resonated when he wrote it. I felt it more because it was he was the first. He was one of the first non-street rappers to really blow. You feel me? You could say there were others.
But he really he's arguably like the reason that you have a Drake. Because of that ability to make music and get people to resonate with it.
So it's like a regular guy, you feel me, that made it. He was rapping about regular problems, like, you know what I mean, arguing with your mom and stuff like that, like you related or late registration, like we all as with the HBCUs, we knew about that. You know what I mean? We could resonate with those skits. So it's like when he was hands-on with it, I truly enjoyed it. So it's like you said, now he got ghostwriters. I feel like once you make a certain amount of money, he don't have time for it. You feel me? So he's like, look, bro, hurry up, come in the studio, help me. You know what I mean? And it's another way for you to pay people instead of loaning them money. You feel me?
I respect it. Well, yeah, that's me. That was just that 3 album runs is hard. It's a lot of people that have
this whole don't have any.
I was gonna ask you that.
He don't. I went as there's 2. So it's like, all right, he have, and some of them only one. He got Reasonable Doubt. Then he have In My Lifetime Volume 1. That is In My Lifetime Volume 1 is a hood classic. It never really went anywhere else. Reasonable Doubt eventually did blow. All right, so then you have Volume 2. So the next run is Volume 2. You have Volume 3, which is some people don't like that. You know what I mean?
One with that's the one with Hard Knock Life, right?
No, that's Volume 2, Hard Knock Life. Volume 3 is the one with the Snoopy track. I got an iceberg, so much iceberg they thought I knew Snoopy. But then you go to the Blueprint. So it's like because of Volume 3, I really don't consider that a run. So then it's like, all right, you start again with the Blueprint. You have the Blueprint, you have the Black Album, and then you have American Gangster, but that's a soundtrack. That's not really that.
Kingdom Come before that. Kingdom Come before that.
Then your next album was a Blueprint 3. Yeah. So then you don't have a 3-album run.
But the funny thing about it is, though, these are. I do hate Kingdom Come. I continuously hate it.
I mean,
I don't like Kingdom Come. But other than that, like these may not be the classic runs. He ain't putting out bad bodies of work, though.
Oh, nah, not at all. But we was talking about
it's the difference between not being a bad body of work than being like okay, this is a one. Because when we were talking about these 3 album runs, every single album was one of them ones.
Yeah.
And on top of that, in his prime, these was every year. These was every year projects.
Yeah.
And then he had 2 a year when he did the Best of Both Worlds. You know, so these is every year. So I mean, if he putting out,
consistent. I mean, 6 straight summers. I mean, he definitely had the summers. So he might not have had the albums, but whatever he was on remixes or whatever, he always had the summers.
But I don't care what anybody say. Nobody put out more music than No Limit and Gucci Mane.
Like
I don't know how. Like I don't know how Gucci Mane has been able to single-handedly put out as much music.
Lil Wayne got a lot of music too, man.
But he does. But Gucci just like it's ridiculous. Like,
because when he was Gucci Mane used to smoke a pound a day, man, and just drink syrup and just make music.
Just throw on the beat, whole album right now.
Hell yeah.
But No Limit, Beats by the Pound. No wonder they name was Beats by the Pound. They dropped it out.
Hey, bro. They created generational wealth with that, though.
No Limit had an album every Tuesday.
3 years.
Every Tuesday. Yeah. Somebody was putting out an album.
That was a factory.
Yeah. It might have been a sweatshop in that motherfucker. He might need to talk to OSHA.
Some of the like lesser people in No Limit would sell only 100,000 copies and still make profits on that album, though, because of the deal that P had with Universal. He basically owned 80% of everything and owned the masters. But then P never slaved anybody with that deal. Like he always gave them bonuses instead of advances. So it's like, this is your money. So it's like, no, you never heard a story about somebody leaving No Limit saying I didn't get paid.
Take notes, Brian Williams.
I mean, but I ain't mad at Brian Williams too, because his business is business. Like one, there's two ways.
He took the wrong notes.
There's 2 ways to do business: ethically and unethically. You know what I'm saying? And it's like people who do business unethically, is it their fault if you don't read and you allow them to do that? No, and so that's their point. That's why people have done it. Puff has done it, and we consider it. We just gave him lifetime achievement awards
because he basically said that I'm doing what I was taught. I mean, you get taught a shady business, what am I supposed to do?
What is it shady? They teach you that this business is not personal. It's for you to make money. So it's like,
but like you said, you can do ethical. You can do something.
And when you knowingly are doing things that is unethical, then I think it's not good business.
Chris, who kept letting Silk on tracks is the main question. I'm gonna tell you like this, Chris. I don't know. Do you have a brother?
He did numbers though. He did numbers.
Do you have a brother? It's all I want to know. If you have a brother, are you telling your brother get your ass out the booth?
And he was going multi-platinum. So it's like, bro, I ain't stopping him. Like, it ain't my fault. Them joints did numbers, bro.
That's a bar right there.
And on top of that, I mean, he was trying to keep him out,
out the streets because they was real street dudes. So it's like, hey, listen, man.
Hey, we gonna make some money off these bad joints.
Somebody gonna buy this shit,
and they bought it.
D12. Who was the fat dude from D12 and shit?
Bizarre.
They didn't buy that. They didn't buy that.
Hey, they didn't tell him to get his ass off the track though.
That's your homeboy. Sometimes you don't tell your homeboy everything, but I mean, he won't on all the songs.
I hate it. Bizarre, man.
And we're not gonna do that to G Herbo, yo. We not gonna do that to G Herbo.
Herbo, nice. I like Herbo, man. Herbo is more like Freeway. He's like Freeway. He got his own way of riding the beat, but he be at least on his pattern. You feel me? Silk wasn't on nothing.
Silk was just talking.
Yeah, he was just talking.
Silk was in there with the headphones. I'm like, get this shit off of me. Hey,
we gonna make it fun.
Like, get this shit off of me. God damn it. Y'all gonna hear this shit. Just match it up. Match it up, god damn it.
He immediately I can't people.
Oh man. Y'all funny, man.
Man, y'all answer this before we move on.
Who had the best label dynasty?
It's definitely had to be Rockefeller, man. They definitely, man. I feel like when Bleak was actually dropping albums, Emil dropping the album, they had Chris and Neef, the Young Guns. They had State Property. They had Beanie Siegel dropping solo albums. Like it's arguably one of the
Freeway album is a classic.
Yeah.
Freeway album.
Yeah, Freeway album is a classic. Beans album is a classic. Like, come on now. Bleak first album was decent, so it's like they had a run, and then they had the album titled The Dynasty. They put out the compilation Dynasty album, so it's like they invented it. Like, if we, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
But, who you think, AJ?
You hate Jay-Z, so
I'm not. I don't hate Jay-Z.
I just felt like saying it.
Boy, always paint a picture that I hate everybody. And I like the Rockefeller, but for deviation, like to me, Death Row, like I know top to bottom,
but that was more like a slave. That's not a dynasty. That's
but them slaves with the work. he put them boys in the field, and they was doing some work, especially the ones at the top. You know what I mean? So
nah, they was elite.
Like like to me, like especially like the top head, like with it being so top heavy, like having Pop, having Snoop.
Oh, but Rockefeller had Rihanna and Kanye too. Best dynasty ever, man. And they had the 3-run album Kanye.
All right, well then we can go with Cash Money, Young Money, and they got Drake, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne,
it's not
Juvenile.
You don't like the Cash Money dynasty?
Now we being technical. Like, I get it. I'm not gonna be that guy.
Yeah, because that's what I was trying to like when we were talking about dynasty. I was still kind of like I was trying to go like kind of like the older stuff that is kind of in like not like finality, like it's over with, but kind of what we've already seen established. Because some of this stuff is kind of still going. Like, yeah, but I get what you're saying.
But they had everybody, like they had Beans had his own label. They was doing movies. Like they really they took what Master P was doing and tried to run with it. So technically No Limit might have to be the greatest dynasty because they're the blueprint.
They definitely, to me, they definitely set the tone.
And then Rockefeller ran with it.
Well, I can't even say that they set the tone because No Limit, they kind of took some things away from other people as well. You know, kind of took some stuff from Suge Knight, but also said, I'm going to make it ethical for everybody. You know what I mean?
So that's people off the balcony for their publishing.
So that's what. So if we're talking about that, you know, it's
poor Vanilla Ice.
Boy, hey, shouldn't have been a vote.
They said they did it to more people than that. Like he stole MC Hammer's publishing. Like MC Hammer didn't want to be on Death Row.
Had nothing to do with Death Row at all. Like
only person that actually touched that. Pause.
Okay, yeah. So we had a trade today. You know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Guy, AJ. Not AJ.
Post that back up there.
I was trying to get it.
There we go.
There we go. The Panthers quest for a QB.
So before we get in, Darnold's he's most likely going to start for the Browns this year, huh?
He didn't get traded for it. They still got Baker. They competing in the Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it says traded for a second and fourth for Sam Darnold.
No, this is what the Panthers did.
This is what the Panthers been doing for a quarterback since basically Matt Rule got there.
Oh.
Since they got rid of Cam.
Y'all set me up, man.
Nah, we didn't.
Nah. Oh, all right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
yeah, but
all right, so they competing for a job then.
Yeah,
that's what they said.
I mean, hey.
That's how bad it is. See what I'm saying? This is how bad this shit is. This is the hot seat of all hot seats. I mean, for everybody. Baker's on the hot seat. Sam Darnold's on the hot seat. Matt Rule's on the hot seat. McAdoo shouldn't even have a seat, but he hot.
Nah, he hot.
This whole thing in Carolina
who
is about to be nasty.
Who the GM over there? Because his ass got to be on fire too. God damn it!
Everybody about to, from top to bottom, this whole thing about to get torn down. On top of that, I get it. The weapons that Sam Darnold's going to have is probably going to be the best weapons that he's ever had. To be quite honest, you're going to have DJ Moore, you got Robbie Anderson, you got Terrence Marshall.
You said the weapons that who gonna have?
Sam Darnold.
I said Baker Mayfield.
Oh no, I thought you said Sam Darnold, but
I said Baker. Either way, both of them.
Yeah, Baker. But even still, to me, this is why it's kind of like, Baker, you probably should have, swallowed your pride and really kept the situation that you are, because now you going to somewhere where the house is burning down.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be the one to save your career, to put the fire out. And that ain't a good place to be
at all.
And as much as we talk about the Browns being, a dysfunctional organization,
and they are,
dysfunctional organizations are only dysfunctional until they get a generational QB.
Okay.
Because for the Saints at one point in time, they were the Aints, and then they got a functional quarterback and, head coach, but it worked. And now they look at them in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
The Colts weren't that good until there's a reason why they picked number 1 overall and were able to get Peyton Manning.
Mm-hmm.
It happens that way. So Baker, you came in, you were the number 1 overall pick. You had the high expectations. You came in hot. You and the coach at the time did not get along. We may seem biased because we made an interview, but we did think that he was a pretty good coach and he got them to a really good place. And he was trying to preserve you and allow you to get into the best situation and not throw you out there. And sometimes that's what we try to say with some of these quarterbacks that aren't ready. I know you have a different opinion, Hill, but Baker came in after Tyrod got hurt. He got hot. Hugh Jackson ended up leaving. They, brought in Baker's guy, Freddie Kitchens. He was gone right after that. Then you bring in a quarterback-friendly system from Kevin Stefanski, and they're one of the better running teams in the league. Great offensive line and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still up and down. And I understand you got that thing that you can hold over the shoulder like that. That you were injured, but you got
that much.
And to me, it really showed
on your shoulder.
That's why, to me, that's why it seemed like Baker was always a front runner. Like when things are going good,
opportunities
you're not going to hear about it, but
get it done.
I'm hurt, my knee, we down losing bad. Somebody pushed me to the ground. I'm gonna stay there for a little bit longer to let y'all know, hey, I'm hurt. Don't forget that when y'all talk about me, I'm hurt.
But that's where I can see where he felt the disrespect and he felt that the bridge was burned and he couldn't come back from that.
It ain't gonna change in Carolina.
Whoa, now, brother. I say I can understand how he feel in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying?
But
that's why he wanted to get out. Because I agree with AJ. He should have swallowed his pride and should have, he know the system in Cleveland. He can go. It's a picture perfect system for him. Supposed to be able to work. His value can increase if he's healthy, like he claimed, like he is. He should be healthy. He should play better, right? Since you were injured last year, right? Right.
Yeah. But what's the cure-all?
Winning.
Yeah, so it's like if he was winning in Cleveland, would he be getting hit, being on the ground all long and hurt up like that? Probably not. So it's like at some point in time, everybody got to look themselves in the mirror. And I'm just tired of people blaming others. Like, bro, this is your path that you've chosen. So all right, now you've chosen a path to bet on yourself. Let's see what you really got now.
But see,
that's how I'm looking at it. You want to go somewhere and bet on yourself?
This is what he did.
Baker,
right. Let's see it. Because
hold on, Kevin, let me get here real quick. That chip that Baker has on his shoulder from being a walk-on and having to transfer and stuff like that, to me, that's ruining him in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, because he hasn't been able to harness it properly. Because now it's got him doing things that he should not be doing. Like,
because it don't matter in a professional.
Because now, everybody, everybody on that team in Cleveland, they weren't all number one picks. You got some people that are, 7th round picks, 5th round picks that, were overlooked in college. But guess what? When they got there, they made it work and did what they had to do, but they know the work that it takes. But they also humble enough to know, like, hey, I ain't supposed to just jump in here and be a starter. And yeah, Baker, you are a number 1 overall pick. Don't mean that they just automatically supposed to renew your 5th-year option, because you still up and down too. Like, to me, like, you have some fault in this. It's a reason why Odell Daddy put together that tape, because everyone, like, because of like you, they've had everyone putting, headlines out there is Odell washed. Is he done? Can he get it done? Where his dad like, hey, bro, y'all don't see what's really going on? So I'm not saying it was all Baker's fault, but he does hold some culpability into that.
Yeah, that was my point. Like, you got to be accountable for your own career path. Like, you didn't get it done in Cleveland. Like, you can't blame anybody. They brought in your guy and you didn't get it done. So it's like, what more do you want? They got rid of people to keep you happy and you still didn't get it done. And now you bailing out when you have a chance to redeem yourself there. You're bailing out and you want to go somewhere else and bank and bet on yourself. So, all right, I would tell you right now, if I had to choose between Darnold or Baker, I would probably go Darnold. One, because he been there already and he got an advantage over you. And I don't see anything besides that chip on the shoulder attribute that Baker has that will separate them. But it's like that ain't gonna be good enough in the NFL to get it done. I think the fact that Darnold is there, that he knows the system, I feel like he might win a job.
I think that chip on the shoulder that everybody's been speaking of been capped. You can tell by how he reacted in this offseason. Like, before the Deshaun Watson rumors, you was already acting like a whole hoe, to be quite honest.
Ouch, yeah.
You know?
And to me, that chip on your shoulder, wouldn't it make you want to be like, all right, I'm gonna prove y'all that y'all made the wrong decision, and then now y'all got to get rid of me. Instead of like, trying to cry and cry your way out.
Only works in an enabling setting.
Or if you're good.
Because if you're playing a mono sport, bro, it's like, all right, I can come in with a chip on my shoulder, but it don't matter. Like, if when Mike Tyson had a chip on his shoulder, you feel me? When he was going to face Buster Douglas. But it's like Buster Douglas ain't care about that. It's just like, look, bro, I just train hard. I'm coming in here to win this fight, bro. So it's like, it don't matter. So
and the thing about it is, the thing I hate about it is, you ain't the only one with a chip, dog.
You're not. That's the thing.
That's what I was saying. Like, that's what I was saying. There's some people that have been 5th round picks that feel like, hey, man, I should have been drafted higher. I don't like how this dude was taking over me. Stuff like that.
Pretty much. So who you got? Who you think will be the starter, AJ?
Who do I think is going to be the starter? I tend to think that it's going to be Baker, just because it's a reason that they got Sam Darnold and went out to try and go get Baker.
That's facts.
But I think Baker's not going to start all 17, and it won't be because of injury.
Okay, so you say you're gonna start to lose his job. Okay, I got Baker.
Yeah,
I just feel like if you face any adversity in camp, he haven't shown us that he can handle adversity and thrive in it. So it's like,
yeah.
What if Sam Darnold come in, zinging the ball everywhere it's supposed to be, and then you know how the internet do. I'm just saying in camp, it's easy.
Okay, I'm glad.
Zinging what?
Baker got the ball sailing out of bounds and stuff like that. Is he going? Then you go out and have a bad preseason outing. Like, what?
But let me qualify my statement when I say I don't think he's going to start all 17. I don't think he's just going to get completely benched for Sam Darnold and never start again. What I think is going to be like, he's going to put, I think, because it's like, once again, it was a reason why Carolina Panthers picked so high and had to pick an offensive line. And that offensive line is not going to be good. Baker is not going to be playing behind the offensive line that he played in Cleveland. And they're not going to be that play action running team that he was playing behind in Cleveland. Although they have Christian McCaffrey, but we don't know. But so what I'm saying is, I think he may put together a string of bad games, and people are going to be like, the fans of Carolina be like, fuck it, let's go back to Sam Darnold because nobody's more popular than the backup QB. And then I think Sam Darnold's going to be coming in, and then Matt Rule is just going to be fighting for his life because he know that this season is going to be his last. So he's going to be like, all right, hold on, who had the best week of practice? And that's pretty much just going to be back and forth.
Man, they hired Bob McAdoo as offensive coordinator. It's nasty for whoever's the quarterback, to be quite honest. Both of them going to look nasty. I feel bad for Carolina fans. This year is definitely going to be a terrible year, but I'm pretty sure that they don't have any expectations, so they probably, hoping for
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, competitive tanking going
Caleb
on. Caleb
Williams, come on down.
But yeah, this is definitely gonna be a nasty year in Carolina, but the storylines is definitely, the off season, the training camp battle is definitely going to be intriguing to watch. So because it's gonna be funny. I mean, other than our teams, what other storylines do we have? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Quick question, because it was rumored that this dude might have been on the block because of the current situation for his team. But who would you rather have at this point in time, Jimmy Garoppolo or Baker Mayfield?
Baker all day. I ain't never been sold on Jimmy.
I don't like Jimmy G, man. And then just what we seen in the playoffs last year, like you just needed something, Jimmy G. Your defense was giving you all types of chances, man. You just couldn't get him in field goal position, bro. Like it was like, man, any little bit of hope that I had for Jimmy G.
Yeah,
when I saw that, I was like, bro, I pray to God when they do trade him, he'll end up at. Because you remember my team that before Wentz, like they were saying that, I was like, please, Lord, no.
But then on top of that, like you said, we talk about Stefanski, his offense was tailor made for Baker to succeed, bro. Kyle Shanahan is basically serving up plays and slants and completion on a silver platter, and you still can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like it's the most quarterback friendly.
Baker probably could be successful in that type of Kyle Shanahan system.
The most quarterback friendly offense in the league.
Yeah, literally. Like I said, to me, it's.
But this is my thing. If you don't have a pinpoint accurate quarterback, why wouldn't you?
Bro, he's still serving it up on the silver platter.
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about like for the Stefanskis of the world. Like what? Why wouldn't you? I don't get it, bro. Like
we gonna see
if you don't have a Aaron Rodgers who could just do what he wants, place the ball wherever he wants.
They said Baker had pinpoint accuracy coming out.
I mean, it's there somewhere. The talent is there somewhere.
Yeah, he got the talent, but I'm just saying, like, there's a difference between putting the ball where it's supposed to be on a route, but this is the NFL. You gotta put it where only your receiver can get it, not where it's supposed to be on a route. And that is the difference between the good quarterbacks and the great quarterback. So it's like, all right, if you have a great quarterback, you run the quarterback complicated system where they can choose and do all of that. But if you don't have that, you need to be running this Kyle Shanahan offense, man.
Stefanski, he does a lot of it. He was doing that.
Variations of it was,
Yeah, it look a little bit different. I feel like Kyle does better at scheming up whatever you're best at because he was doing that for Kirk. Like Kirk, I still think Kirk looked his best under Kyle. You feel me?
He did a little bit under Stefanski too in Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken.
He did do a little bit there.
There's a similar offense, But
he ain't make no playoffs. Yeah. Did he make playoffs under Stefanski?
I think they might have.
I think they did. They just ain't.
I think they did. Yeah.
But the same thing with Washington. He ain't none in Washington.
Yeah. So same old Kurt.
Yeah, same old Kurt. Yeah, he don't have it. He just don't have enough to get it over, man.
How we end up dissing Kurt on this?
We're not dissing, man.
You gonna find a way? No, I'm messing with you.
We're not dissing.
You gonna find a way to diss Kurt?
No, I'm just the tribute to Kyle Shanahan had him looking good though.
I was joking, bro. I'm just joking. Yep, here we go. We guess we can move on right there. Stop trying to use Elijah for the Browns. You right? Absolutely right.
Yeah, touche. If it makes sense, it probably ain't it.
Could have said that 5 minutes ago, bro.
100%. Could have saved us a little bit of time on this damn topic. Well, but since we're talking about losers, let's talk about NBA free agency winners and losers.
Let's get to it. Let's talk about the win. Let's be nice. Let's be nice right quick. Let's get to the winners.
Okay.
We got Portland on here. You know, re-signing Anthony Simons. That was big. You know, the way he balled last year without Dame, and you know when they end up trading CJ, he balled out. He showed that he can definitely hold it down. So imagine what can he do with the Dame. You go get a Gary Payton. They needed somebody that can play some defense. You go get Gary Payton. You know, who else did they get? They brought back Nurkic.
I like that for them. And to me, the way that they brought back Nurkic, I felt like for what he can bring to the table, it was fairly inexpensive for them.
And for them to, I know it's not necessarily free agent signing, but for them to trade and go get Jeremy Grant,
yeah,
they definitely had a good offseason. So I'm definitely liking what Portland do it. We got anything else to say about Portland?
No, just pretty much. I like what they've been doing.
All right, we got Boston. You know,
of course.
Boston. I mean, they just doing what contenders is doing. You know what they supposed to do. It was exactly retool. It was highly speculated that they needed a point guard. They needed an upgraded point guard. That was a lot of people were saying. It's upgraded point guard. It's upgraded point guard. You know, Marcus Smart ain't really the point guard and blah, blah, blah. And he fired back. He was tired of hearing all that. He said, hey, listen, y'all had all these star point guards here, and I'm the one that got them to the final. You know, believe what you may, believe what you want. It is what it is. They went and got Malcolm Brogdon. It's been reported that he would be the sixth man, that he could play the super six man role. So basically, they just upgraded. They gave up nothing.
Gave up nothing.
And to me, you know, when you say the super six man, sometimes when you actually look at it from what that starter position may be to the six man position, the minutes don't always be like some giant discrepancy where it's like, oh, he's a he's a six man, you know, because this person's a starter and they play, 12 more minutes, almost a whole quarter more than them on average. Sometimes it truly almost averages out almost the exact same sometimes. So I don't think that, I think especially with the injury history that Brogdon has, I think it'll help him to kind of not necessarily have to be relied on. Too. And it just makes them more potent in the postseason when they have that extra scoring option.
I think they're winners because one, they keep their core intact and then add a piece. So it's like they come off the finals. So it's like, all right, a lot of times when you come off the finals, you just need something else. So it's like, all right, get your bench stronger. You just got a key part to your bench, gave them a huge injection. So it's like, I think that's a huge major win. And it's like, for other people in the market, like you got to be aggressive. You can't let, especially people in the East, like you can't let the championship contender retool and grab pieces that you probably need on your team. But, the Celtics, they do it year in and year out. So regardless of who's GMing, you feel me?
That's how you GM. Like you said, I think you said it last week. The GM is going to actually have to GM, and then, like you said, they knew they needed another. They needed another playmaker because what did we say? We say you need another playmaker.
Yeah, facts.
They went and got it. Like you said, they gave up nothing. They gave up nothing, and like you said, he's interchangeable. The lineup that they can use now, and they don't have to change up really what they've been doing last year that would work for them. Instead of coming off with Peyton Pritchard, you coming off the bench with Brogdon. Like I said, he can play with Pritchard. He can play with Derek White. He can play with Marcus Smart. And they can play together. You can play all together. So all these interchangeable that you got at the 1 through 3 at the guards position, keep it moving.
Facts.
It's gonna be tough. I like what they did. We got the winner. Let's AJ. Let's let you talk about these Timberwolves here.
So I believe that the Timberwolves are a winner because I think this allows them to actually. So we saw the Timberwolves make the playoffs, and they have a young team with a lot of potential. Mm-hmm. And there's been some talks about what Karl Anthony Towns is and who he is, and I think. In the playoffs, he showed some really good things, and he showed some questionable moments as well. But for them to be such a young team, that was a good showing of what they were able to put on out there. And I think acquiring Rudy Gobert, say what you want about him, he is a very good defensive presence in the paint. And I think that acquiring Rudy Gobert actually helps them out in a sense that it allows Karl Anthony Towns to play how he wants to play. He wants to be a perimeter shooter. He wants to be a scorer. And it allows them to still have someone in the paint to, get, your offensive rebounds, be a big body in the paint and keep people out of the paint, but allow one of your star players to play in a more comfortable role for him and do some of the things that he likes to excel at. And also on the defensive end, you still have someone in there that's going to be a big body in the paint, protect the rim, grab your rebounds, and, do that dirty work around the rim, and you still have another 7-footer on the floor as well that can be interchangeable also. So I think that, defensively, it gives them a lot of versatility and size. I know. Go ahead. What do you guys have to say about
Man, I just don't consider them winners in this because one, I feel like they took a home run swing. Like the Rudy Gobert signing, that's $200 million. That's a home run swing. You got to do that when you're one piece away, or you're signing the piece that's going to get you over the hump. And I just don't like. Yes, Rudy Gobert is a very good player, and he's a great defender. But I just can't see paying $200 million to a one-way player. I just can't. Like I can't. So it's like now, all right, we become a little bit more. Well, not a little bit. We become a legitimate defensive team. We got our defensive anchor now, but how are we going to score still? We're in the West. We got to put up points, and how are we going to beat the other teams that are fully loaded with scores out there? Golden State, Phoenix, like what are we going to do? So that's why I was like, what's up?
So you brought up Golden State. Remember every single time you would say, teams are how are teams why are teams trying to go small and compete with Golden State when they should try and go bigger and counteract that and make them guard? To me, that's one of the things that they just did, and still, now you are bigger out there. Yes, I understand. You may say that,
and that's a great point.
You may say that, but Rudy Gobert is not an offensive option.
Yeah,
but Rudy Gobert could he still averaged a double. So he may not be able to go get his own shot, but averaging 14 rebounds and being able to get those putbacks, that's going to be tough. So if I got Draymond Green out there trying, we saw Draymond Green do pretty decent before on Jokic, but then you also have another 7-footer out there in Karl Anthony Towns who can create his own shot, who can go off the dribble, and then you may have him guarded by somebody like Andrew Wiggins or something like that. That can cause problems. So
one, the Warriors have Wiseman. They got their traditional big coming back this year. And then also, like you said, Rudy Gobert is not an offensive threat. So it's like when I say a traditional big, like when I say a traditional big, I'm talking about like putting a guy up there who can do both, who can be a defensive prowess and also be a problem on an offensive block. So it's like, if you would have said that, like if Rudy Gobert was that, I would say by all means, I feel like they could do it. But I feel like we saw in the playoff, like they was like Anthony Edwards, like get us out of this. Like get us out of this. Even Cat, you feel me? So it's like,
but so here's my thing. As far as being an offensive option, I'm not, yes, him going out to get his own shot is, pretty much obsolete. But for him to have pretty much average double-digit points, like almost 15 points for like the last 6 years, you can't throw that away. You can't just,
I'm not throwing it away.
That because there are some big men that he's going to face that don't even average 10, but may get double-digit points. So what I'm saying is, when you got Anthony Edwards on the court, you have Karl Anthony Towns on the court. When you have, some of those players who can get their own shot, even D'Angelo Russell, whatever the case may be, and then you throw Rudy Gobert in that, you're not asking him to be a second scoring option. You're asking it getting 15 points from your fourth offensive option. I'm not how can you be mad at that?
I can be mad at it because it doesn't fix anything. Like you said, you just paid $400 million to two players. And I may not even change from whatever seed. I might not even change from the seed I was in last year. I may still be a play-in team. and that's the same exact team. But I'm paying $400 million to the same people, and on top of that, you highlighted that Cat's defense is the problem. That's why they went and got somebody to play defense. Okay, who the hell he checking now? Still, if he a liability on that, if he was a liability on the court last year, he's still gonna be a liability on the court. We just gonna find him and put him in the pick and roll action and still cook him. Rudy Gobert ain't fixing all that, because if he was, the Jazz wouldn't be losing in the playoffs like they was consistently losing in the playoffs. If he was so much of a defensive factor, doing all this, shutting off all these erasing, doing all this, the Jazz wouldn't continuously keep losing in the playoff if Rudy Gobert was doing all this. He's not about to change no fate in Minnesota. It's gonna be the same exact thing in Minnesota if
and they
just the playoffs again.
And they just handicapped themselves for long term. So it's like y'all ain't gonna be able to retool for a long time.
Because the
bill y'all gonna have to pay Anthony Edwards. So it's just like,
then what you gonna try to look for a trade again? You done trade all these unprotected picks too to do what? To do what? Because you like to move, but you sure enough ain't saying they're a contender.
So here's my thing.
Are you saying
they should be? And that's the thing. When you pay $200, you should be a contender, man.
Yeah, because before you go, are they a contender?
They're not a contender, but they'll be more than a playing team. They'll be in the top 6 seed.
They was the 7th seed. They was in the play-in last year. They became the 7th seed, right?
Okay,
but they was in the play-in. They was in the play-in. They was the 7th seed, right? Correct. Okay, all right. We can put a friendly wager on there if you want to.
Okay, we'll talk after the pod.
Okay, cool.
After the pod convos, man.
Let's move. Let's go on to the. Now we move on to the losers. You know, because I get the logic. Before we go, I get the logic of why they made the Rudy Gobert move. You know, they were looking for a center to go along with Cat. They've been reporting that. I get the logic. Do I agree with the logic? Hell no, but I get it.
Yeah.
So like, and let me just get one more thing in here as well.
That's an expensive logic.
So for me, you like how you talked about, you know, how does this make them better in the Utah Jazz constantly going out? I don't think the Utah Jazz had a scorer of Cat's ability. Yes, they have Donovan Mitchell, but I don't think that they had a scorer of Cat's ability. I think Cat is a better offensive player than Donovan Mitchell. And to go with that, then you also, if it was just Donovan Mitchell, I mean, if it was just Anthony Edwards and then you have Rudy Gobert, and I'm like, yeah, you're basically the Jazz. But I think that there are other pieces there that make them, you know, steps above the Jazz, which is having Anthony Edwards there who can kind of mimic what Donovan Mitchell does, but then also having Karl Anthony Towns, which the Jazz did not have. And then you throw Rudy Gobert in there to be your third option. And then you still have, you know, D'Angelo Russell coming off the bench or wherever they decide to play him as, you know, another, you know, ancillary scorer. So that's my thing. But like I said, we shall see.
Yeah, we can see, you know.
All right. Losers.
What the hell y'all doing?
They're being held hostage because they're, you know, since they're a destination for Kevin Durant, they're not making moves. And pretty much what it is sacrificing next season because they feel like they can get this big fish. When in all actuality, like I've said before, all you needed to do, like I understand, like if you were to just do some things to try and upgrade from Jay Crowder and get another scorer and, you know, someone like another wing player and a backup point guard, I think we would have been in a good spot to be able to run those things back. Because like I said, all you really need to do is not wear out Chris Paul and allow him and not have him being, you know, your go-to scorer in the playoffs because he's such a small guard. And if they X him out the game and you can't get him on, you know, in a good rhythm, your whole team fucks up because now you don't have any other reliable scorers. Yes, Devin Booker was there, but Devin Booker, he was so up and down, which was very shocking to me. And so if you just upgraded and allowed someone, like brought in another presence, because three-point shooting was horrendous for our team in the playoffs. And Cam Johnson wasn't hitting shit. Mikal Bridges, he's still scared to be an offensive presence. So you need someone else. And Jay Crowder, he will shoot you in a game and he will shoot you the fuck out of one. So go ahead.
I was letting you go, and you know I know it's your team, and I'm definitely not disrespecting nothing that you're saying with your team. And I understand that y'all are a destination for
No. Oh, I thought you were about to say his destination. Oh, but
No.
What I'm saying is
for Kevin Durant. But y'all been active, bro. That's the problem. Y'all have still been active with getting people, and I understand that y'all salary cap. Y'all definitely got y'all.
There we go.
That's not an excuse.
But the thing about it is we're being like they're holding themselves hostage because they're being active to try and fill in end of like those extra pieces, those end of the bench guys, so that when you do get Kevin Durant, you are able to take on that salary. So
and
that's
so you've been getting vet minimum dude, the same targeted dudes that we've been looking for.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's the issue. Like
but
they're holding themselves hostage. So
gamble.
That's not what I'm saying. It's a lot of dudes that's still available out there for the vet minimum. That's still way better than the bums that y'all got. Y'all not even calling people. Y'all went and got Damian Lee to do what? He can't beat you right now, bro. He's trash.
No, like did I argue with did I argue with y'all that we were supposed to be a winner? I said this because
I wasn't trying to hear that excuse of they trying to get vet minimum player because my whole list that I had for the Lakers was all vet minimum players and y'all ain't called nobody. Y'all ain't called none of them people on that list.
This offseason shows.
So what are we saying?
If James Jones should have been like, if he's really the executive that we think he is, because he's missed on a couple of draft picks that nobody's talking about. Free agency wise, he
can't hit on everything.
You can't hit on everything, but there are also some things that you need to put in place. Yes, you've been hanging your hat on being able to bring in Chris Paul, but now
I don't think
more of that.
Bad offseason makes you a bad GM.
I'm not saying that but what I'm saying is, in hindsight, is this one bad offseason? Because remember, he was the guy that went out and was hell bent on getting Landry Shamet, and then Landry Shamet couldn't even get on the floor.
Regardless of whatever you're saying, the fruits of his labor have had y'all playing deep into the playoffs the last 2 years.
Well, no, because he didn't draft Devin Booker. He didn't draft DeAndre.
I'm just saying, bro, like the last 2 years, he's been the guy, right?
Well, I'm saying is
that had success.
We've had success. I'm just saying now. Are you like what? Like, but now what I'm saying is, you've made the trade for Chris Paul, and it elevated us. Mm-hmm. And I'm not taking any of the
Chris
credit.
Paul is the one that's not helped. That not there in the clutch. It's like Jones can't. He can't. Bro, I can't suit up.
I can't. I'm not putting this all on Chris Paul, yo.
I ain't putting it all on Chris Paul, but Chris Paul has not been there when y'all needed him, bro. Not in Game 7.
It's been
not last year.
What about the other players that weren't there? Just like Devin Booker.
He's the guy that gets us over the hump.
What is Damian Lee gonna do?
Not a goddamn thing.
You feel what I'm saying? What is Damian Lee gonna do?
But that's my point. But this is why I'm talking about James Jones. Why are you even calling Damian Lee? Damian Lee couldn't get even on the court when the greatest player in that team history, that's his brother-in-law, and he don't even want him on the court.
Because like Kill said, he could have called some better vet minimum players, but I truly think that he's trying to stay as fluid and liquid as possible to be able to pull off the case.
But Damian Lee ain't gonna change that. That's what Hill was saying.
Listen, bro, I ain't vouching for
James
Damian
Jones,
Lee.
bro.
Nothing, bro. You feel me? I feel like, bro, I can't. That's a bad pickup. But it's like,
who made the pickup? Who made the call?
Listen, bro. What I'm saying is a bad.
Chris Paul didn't make the call.
I don't think makes you a bad GM, bro.
But here's my thing though. Even if like I said, y'all was all even with KD, even without KD, y'all was looking for vet minimum players. Like I said, you mean to tell me that Thomas Bryant, y'all lost JaVale McGee, y'all didn't call Thomas Bryant that we signed, y'all didn't call, you know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't call all they do, bro. Come on,
man. Because you want to know why? Because we re-signed Bismack Biyombo.
But you wanted to re-sign him.
Yeah,
and that's not a bad signing at all.
That's not a bad signing. But also, if we don't get KD and then we lose DeAndre Ayton, then
it's gonna be ugly.
But that's my point.
It's nasty.
Like
I said, go get Dennis.
As I said, this is a big gamble.
Go get Dennis Schroeder and everything will be fixed. Y'all can laugh if you want. Go get Dennis Schroeder,
bro.
Everything will be fixed.
I would
honestly want the Lakers to get him.
I would have been fine if we were able to keep JaVale, keep DeAndre, run it back with Dennis Schroeder, and then, like I said, try and find another shooter.
Y'all should have got Gobert.
I mean, like we still
let Ayton walk, bring Gobert in, man.
It'll help.
Double can be those extra points y'all needed.
It wouldn't be extra points. They averaged about the same points.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Stop it. Don't try to sell yourself on good, man. They know damn well that they ain't scoring nowhere near the same points, bro. All right. Let's move on. We got Miles Bridges and Montrezl Harrell as losers together. As Montrez was, riding around and getting it. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Just riding around and getting it.
There's no way that money that he was getting off of that could have been better than his NBA checks, bro.
Exactly. And so that's why he's a loser, because this is stupid. I'm pretty sure that he may beat the charges and all that, and that's cool, fine and dandy, but he messed up whatever money that he was supposed to get, whatever positive team that he possibly could have went to. He ruined it. I'm not saying that he ain't about to get back in the league and he done for, but Miles Bridges, you was in potential to getting offered a max contract from the Detroit or from Charlotte. You had at least close to a max contract. That's a big money deal for you. You just threw that all away. I'm not saying you're guilty. Don't know. I'm not here. You got your day.
What Uncle Ruckus say?
I don't know.
He's guilty. That nigga's guilty. That's what the fuck he said. God damn it.
It's
what we did to that woman.
It's looking bad. It's looking bad. But like I said, you get your day in court to prove yourself, and hopefully, we'll see. But the bag is messed up regardless. You ruined that completely. So it is what it is. Hey, go rap about it.
Yeah.
Fucking dick.
Yeah. Go get a rap advance.
The last loser, Brooklyn Nets. Cannon, the floor is yours.
Hey man, that star don't want to be there no more. Kyrie opted in, but he really don't want to be. He never wanted to be there to begin with. So it's like, and they making a couple moves, but they ain't doing nothing to, they supposed to have a championship by now. So it's like, y'all sold us on a championship. Y'all had James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving, and now it's looking like at some point this season y'all may not have none of those players. So it's like this is the greatest debacle in a long time, unless they can somehow, some way put a championship run together this year. If they don't, then they wasted a lot of money. They sold a lot of people a lot of dreams and a lot of wolf tickets, man. So it's like they gotta be the losers. Ain't no way around it. Even Brooklyn Nets fans are disgusted.
As they should.
They've been given a lot of excuses. They was literally just going to bat for KD a week ago, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was all good just a week ago. Now they talking greasy about him.
The funny thing about it is they just got themselves into some complicated trades that they got to execute. And the problem is they do have the NBA free agency on, hostage. As well, like I said, AJ, I did agree with you. I said, but I gave you hell because, as y'all rightfully should, it still moves that y'all could have been made. But like I said, the whole NBA is held hostage. And it just doesn't make. Like I said, it's going to be a hard executed trade to make for them to make. Like I said, they don't want Westbrook. Kyrie, the only suitor, the only team that's interested in Kyrie is the Lakers. The Nets keep trying to put all these reports out that other teams are interested. They're trying to garner up interest. They're trying to garner up any leverage that they had. They putting out all these reports. They're getting Shams to go talk on Pat McAfee. They're doing everything. They trying to exhaust all options that they can, and everybody refutes every report. It's the Lakers or else.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like I said, it's the Lakers or else. So they trying to finesse that trade. They need to, do what they got to do with that.
And stand firm, Rob.
They know that. They know that.
Nothing but rust, bro.
Because the only thing that they have, they keep trying to put it out that the Lakers are so desperate, and it had validity in the beginning of the offseason. But at this point, the Lakers are making moves on. They are prepared.
I like the way the Laker roster is shaping out. So it is what it is, man.
They are prepared for which either point guard they're gonna have, and they're gonna be ready to move forward. Somebody will be desperate enough. Some team season would not go the way that it's planned, and by the trade deadline, they're ready to share some cap. So they know like I said, the leverage that the Lakers have, they ready to go whatever. They ain't got to fold.
They ain't got to force it.
Yeah, and as much as and the reason why teams aren't tripping over themselves for Kyrie is not his talent, because
not at all.
Because he has the talent to potentially take your team to the next level. It's the fact that, like I've said last week, it's his track record of availability, regardless of whatever the reason. If we want to say, oh, he was taking a stand or whatever, regardless, bro, you get paid to play basketball, and you have not played a lot of basketball games in your career. So it's like, why would I rush and change whatever plans I had? Because like you just opted in last week, so it's like we thinking that before KD, everybody's assuming. So I have my own blueprint for free agency that I thought my team needed. Why would I throw everything away and change course for a player who's known not to be available? I wouldn't gamble on that right now. So I would try to get Kyrie if I can, something feasible, but I'm not about to overpay or go all in to get Kyrie, because it just don't make no sense, because he ain't shown me that he's dedicated enough to a franchise or organization or the game. Like, he's put a lot of other things before basketball. So it's like, that's just the reality of it.
I think the fact that and like I said, the KD trade, since he requested it, is definitely going to be way more complicated than we expect. They definitely want to overhaul, and I do understand why they want to overhaul for that. Because he got 4 years remaining on his deal. It's like, bro, we're not about to just give you away. And it's funny that he gonna pull one of them. I'm gonna call it a cannon move. Keep it real. The real gonna come out. The real explanation gonna come out sooner or later. I ain't got to tell y'all what's up and all that, right?
Tell us. He ain't ready, bro. Why would he do a cannon move?
Somebody's going to explain why he was so fed up with the Nets and why he requested the trade, and gonna make him look like a sympathetic figure. I don't care what it is, because at the end of the day, they paid you to sit out your first. They paid you to rehab your first year. They gave you a mulligan. They gave you a mulligan in that last year. Your second year, you was hurt too. You end up getting hurt again. You was in and out of the lineup again. Last year, you hurt your MCL. You hurt your knee again. You was in and out of the lineup last year. You've been hurt your entire time in Brooklyn, and in no time have they came up and were mad at you. Were frustrated at you. They was loving everything what KD was doing. They was mad at Kyrie. They was mad at Harden. They was never mad at KD. Now all of a sudden, you go to management and you're not getting the one thing that you wanted, whatever it was. Now you want out. Something about that just don't sit right with me. But it just
that's why I don't like this generation of like athletes. Hold on, Kenan. I don't like this generation of athletes where it's like, they've changed the NBA to kind of be a players' league, but also there has to be some sort of just mutual respect by these players to understand, like, hey, bro, like, yeah, it's a business, but y'all are getting into a sense where y'all can actually have a real partnership with some of these teams if you are some of these elite players. And like shit like this, what KD's pulling, what Harden did, what Ben Simmons did, it's gonna fuck them up in this next CBA, because now like they're gonna, like, I guarantee, like, these owners are going to try and get some shit back to stop all of this shit where they sitting out missing games because they want to get traded, or just automatically saying oh, I don't want to play here anymore, and trade me and I'm gonna sit down, when in actuality, like, hey bro, yeah, you got a guaranteed contract, but you ain't finna just sit down now, because it's a reason. It's something that the Brooklyn Nets should tell KD. So go ahead and say what they should do. Hill,
get your ass on this floor and play ball.
Pretty much. Oh, you set it up first, bro. The player empowerment era is dying. It's
going to die, yo. It's going to die.
Yeah. And I get what you're saying about they're gonna try to fight in the CBA and all that. They don't even have to, bro. Once again, they can't have been telling everybody on Facebook all week, bro. We don't have to trade you, KD. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to trade you. And
They don't.
And quiet as it kept, the Sixers showed us this last year. They didn't.
Sit that motherfucking ass down.
They was not in the rush to trade Ben Simmons. They said until we get the deal that we want, we are not trading you, and we're not paying you.
Yeah.
So on top of that, so this player empowerment stuff, all these, you could just request the trade. All of a sudden, you get this willy-nilly stuff, and you can force where you're going to go. The only leverage that these players are going to always have is if they got a year left on their contract, and they say, "Hey, I have no plans on
resigning." Yeah,
then that lessens the leverage.
But to me, that's a good give and take. That's a good give and take.
Back to KD, man. I truly believe, like Unc said, bro, he realized he cannot win a championship there. And I said it prior to that. I said, like, if they don't win it this year, their window's closed. Like, so he like, why do I don't at this point, it's the tail end of his career too. So it's like, I can't waste years. Like, I gotta put chips up. If I want, he wants his name mentioned amongst the greats. And at this point, I need chips outside of Golden State. So it's like, I gotta do it.
I need you to expound on this, my brother.
Chaos K.
Yeah.
I need you to
I wasn't even gonna try to pronounce that.
I need you to expound on that as much as you can.
Because he said that Hakeem got fucked over, Ewing with the Knicks, even D-Wade with Miami. Teams be wilding though. Toronto with DeMar. I don't think Toronto was wilding with DeMar. Toronto knew that they were capped with DeMar, I think.
But let's rewind on that. Teams do be wild. We not sitting here vouching for the team. We definitely are.
Yeah, absolutely. We player friendly, but
we still pro player. But I'm just saying when it comes to at some point something got to when it comes to every deal, when it comes to every deal, when it comes to every trade rumor, becoming free agency, becoming everything, we always say who has the leverage. That's the first thing we always say. Who has the leverage in this holdout? Who got the leverage in this trade negotiation? Who got the leverage in this deal right here? Who has the leverage? And on top of that, when these players they are giving leverage. They're giving leverage. Like you said, Harden requested the trade and say, hey, yeah, I want to go to Brooklyn. And they gave him to Brooklyn. That's not leverage. They just giving you away. Yeah. No, these teams, like I say,
that's fulfilling your request. Like,
exactly. And Brooklyn Brooklyn told KD, they say, hey, look, we are not trading you till we get what we want. So get ready.
And to me, that's also leverage because now Brooklyn is like, yo, if someone come and give us the biggest offer ever that we've ever seen, by all means, we can ship you out. But we got to be impressed. We not doing it just because you say you want to.
That's what KD might not be happy about because
you
might end up you don't even want to be at, bro.
Bro, when you used to go home and say, hey, mama, can I have McDonald's money? That is a request. Mm-hmm. Like, you want McDonald's, but do you have McDonald's? I don't have to like just give in to your request. Like, you requesting something, like even if it's a quote, like KD can't make a trade demand. He makes a trade request because guess what? We trade you if we want to. You here for 4 years, dog. We not worried about you leaving for nothing.
And you should have signed a 2-year deal, and you would have been able. You would have had a player option.
But no, see, this is what happened. These players have been getting comfortable with the power that they have. I can just force where I want to go. I can just say where I want to go because none of these players have no trade clauses in their contract except Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal was the only one to have a no trade clause in his contract.
Because that give you leverage.
He love DC, yo. But and for me, it's like
okay. You said it gives you leverage, right? Mm-hmm. So you mean to tell me KD couldn't get that? Bron doesn't even have that.
He could have got it. I don't. But he just didn't. For whatever reason,
the players are too comfortable.
Yeah, like you said, to your point.
And that's why AJ. They don't have to put nothing
leverage. Like if I'm a marquee player, I'm getting a no trade clause because now when I waive my no trade clause, that gives me leverage.
Specific teams.
Yeah. Now if you say a team that I don't like, I now put my shit right back in place.
I don't want to go
trade. So it's like you don't have a no trade clause, Katie. So now you want to be traded. So now if the worst team, if the Knicks ship everybody they got to get you over there.
No, I'm not even gonna do that because I'm not gonna let you be in New York. I'm going to send your ass to Utah. You will be in Utah.
Yeah,
But my thing, that's what I'm saying, AJ. They don't need to add nothing in the CBA. Just use your power. Now I'm pretty sure that they're going to probably put some clauses in some of these contracts or some of these deals, and try to give themselves more structural power.
Exactly. That's what they're going to do.
But at the end of the day, I can be like, look, I'm not trading you.
And that's why I say they're gonna really get their ass kicked in the CBA, because now they're gonna put some of that language in there, just like how like Ben Simmons is trying to file these grievances and recoup some of this money and shit like that. They gonna put some shit in that language, because they ain't about to have none of that. Like, hey, bro, y'all lucky y'all got guaranteed contracts. That's all I'm gonna say.
And like I say, with the rookie extensions, with the limitations that they got with the players that they can trade for with Ben Simmons on the team, this deal is going to take a while, to be quite honest. I know we used to free agency moving fast, because most of these teams already had the one up on negotiating all these deals, because like I said, they going through the playoffs and they know what time it was.
Exactly.
That's why the first day of free agency always move fast, because these deals are already agreed upon. Tampering, smoothly, unlike the Knicks. But now, and this is what's going to happen. This is going to mess up their leverage. Now, the benefit of it is some of these Vegas are going to start. A lot of the teams going to be in Vegas. A lot of the GMs going to be in Vegas. A lot of the agents going to be there. They're going to be able to talk. That's going to be good. But this deal is going to take a while. A lot of these teams that think they're involved with the deal, they're going to back out. They got to move on at some point.
You have to. You cannot handicap and not fulfill your roster and just be left with crumbs in the end, when even if you're in contention, it's not a guarantee.
Exactly.
So we're gonna get up out of here. But before we get out of here, let's make a prediction. Who's gonna make that trade for KD? Kenny, you go first.
It's funny, man. They don't have enough, but it would be funny if he end up in Sacktown. But if I had to make a prediction,
they can make it enough.
If I had to make a prediction, man, oh man, I don't know. I feel like the Pacers might get him.
Okay. AJ, other than the Suns,
and to be quite honest, like unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I think it has to be Phoenix, and I think that's what's going to end up happening. But I think it's going to take forever. But I think outside of that, I think pretty much the only team that I think would be kind of feasible is going to be the Clippers. I think that you possibly throw in someone like Paul George and include it in there. And I think that they could be able to put in a package that is going to be enticing for Brooklyn. And then you still able to get KD paired up with Kawhi.
Me and Mark have been on the same page all night. Toronto.
I think that's the best package. But once again, I don't want to step on your toes. But I think, Clippers is a sleeper.
Pause.
I said step on your toes.
No, you said that's the best package.
All right. Damn it.
That's episode 160. Y'all know y'all can catch us on all major podcast platforms. 3Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3Man Weave _ You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. Okay, he averaged 17, and Rudy Gobert averaged 15. Damn, they trash. And y'all ain't want to offer him the max, and he got the super max.
Yeah, but the thing is, bro, like Gobert's 15 is off putbacks and stuff like that. So it's like
it ain't a post move in the world. Ain't seen nothing. I'm saying?
Like Ayton, the majority of his points is off facing up or back or post. You feel me? So it's like that's a true point stat. So it's like you ain't gonna always get that from Rudy Gobert if a team is crashing the boards. You feel me?
But when teams crash the boards against DeAndre Ayton, especially in the playoffs, he got pushed out the way a lot. That's why Monty Williams was over there begging and pleading for him. Hey, please, we need you. That's all I'm saying.
That's why I said y'all should have got Rudy Gobert. I said it.
And that's why I say, hey, I mean, I don't necessarily think that we would take a step back.
I ain't saying y'all would, but I still don't think that you would take a step forward neither.
We'll see where Aiden goes, and we'll debate that with him. But if he goes somewhere, we'll see a different Aiden on a different team.
Yeah, we'll see.
Shouts out to the Fours.
Shout out to the Fours. Y'all showed,
bro. Like you got all the skills in the world, bro. Get tough, man. That's what I don't like about this generation either, man. Like, dang.
yeah.
We got it.
All right. Shout out to the Fours. We out, y'all.